guys, here's Mark from France for the Corelli Kronos. We also will become the buggy version, and we also have already the Moxu. I always have to laugh when I hear this word. So Kronos is for Corelli a monster truck. For us it's a muggy. A muggy it's a truggy with bigger tire. That's all. Because a monster truck has a gear ratio reduction, like the Kraton 8S has the chassis higher in the center for more crawl capability, and has the same suspension in front as in rear, big suspension travel, heavy weight, and it's not easy to drive. That's why we like our monster trucks. So this is for me a muggy. Maybe they tell a monster truck because they will do a real truck. Corelli choose to make something between Hobau and Arma. It's definitely not, I don't know who tells this in the beginning, a copy or something from the Arma version. Pivot ball, many cars has pivot ball. Black and red, Corelli is black and red since they exist. Truggy exists like 20-40 years ago, so who claims it's a copy? I don't know. This is definitely not a copy from Arma. The body has his own look. We never see something like that. It remember me a little bit the Team Magic Cooper 1 body. I really like it from the side. From the front I think the color had should be a little bit the red here and the black here, because that's make the nose from the truck look smaller. It's nothing, it's my workshop dwarf. And I really like this. The body holds with 4 body posts with pins. The tire feels good with the rubber compound. They are lightweight. I put it away, I weighted to 330 grams. That's okay. The nuts are not so good. Corelli make optional stuff for our brands, or typically alloy washer or screws or so stuff. They just make normal 70mm without any thread or something, or even not lock stop to hold the tires. The wing feels flex, feels a little bit, also seems to be a little bit smaller than what we have on our trucks. The body is a good feeling Lexan quality, that's okay. Seems like it would be tough because of its round. Maybe we're gonna make several overall with the car. And underneath there is the most of modification. We have here cleared this part. This part looks like a little bit like Arma, but many cars has this part. Arma was the only brand to put it on buggies and truggies because we had it some long times on monster truck and our cars. So finally we have it here, and that's a good point. Why not copying what's good? This is good, so it's okay if it's here. This part is anyway 3 cm away from the top from the body, so if you don't want the body to be squeezed and rips up from the body retainer, put some foam here. I already put the center diff out and the front diff out because I feel something strange, and we're gonna talk about it. This strange thing. We have a 20 gram servo, 20 kilo servo here. Sorry, I put the wheels away to show you the hubs. We have a 20 kilogram servo. That's a good point. Many others just put 15. We have alloy servo horn, we have receiver and servo tray in one part like many other brand does. We have LiPo tray and receiver and ESC on one side. It's red. It's anyway not a copy from the Arma because RSA Corelli has since a long time red ESC. That's why they go for black and red. That's the color from Corelli. Then you can switch the whole LiPo tray and ESC from front to rear if you want to have more weight in the rear with the battery in the rear. That's a good point. Bad point, the wires are too short. They have provided you a wire way in the center, but the wires are too short. I think this should be longer, and we have enough room here to fix it correctly if you get the ESC here, and so you can turn it without make anything or any changes on the wiring. It could be an ID. We have one ID, but not the finishing from the ID. It's not a big issue. It's the first time Corrali make a 1/8 scale cars. Chassis, really narrow, especially in the back, but we have here this cool stiffener in the back. That's what we mess on. What's missing on the Kraton 8S. The fact that the shock tower is radiate here on a short cord from the chassis, and we have here a longer brass to the center, but it's not just on the center, it's bolted here in the middle also, and all three brasses are together with one part. All this is mounted with screws and nail stop. That's cool, that's not just filled in the plastic. For all these brasses, and for me the weakest point of the truck, the arms. The arms are really tiny, small, but they are really badly flexed. I hope this flex will save them for destruction. But all these parts can be reinforced with graphite or aluminium parts. You get graphite for the brace. You can put 1 or 2 per brace on each upper brace, on the under brace, on the under front brace, and on the upper shock tower brace. That's something no one ever does. That's something we already have seen by ZD Racing, another older brand, but it's the first time someone does it in the front. At the beginning should be 70-75 T6 alloy chassis and shock towers. That's no more the fact, because it was too costful for them, so they go back to 60-61, 5 mm in the rear, 4 in the front. I think they also have to do 5 in the front. Chassis 3 mm, but with this cool reinforcement bar I think it will be okay. We have standard mount from the rear upper arms and from the front arms. If you have pivot bolts, you have Mugen with pivot bolts, we have Timesso with pivot bolts, we have many other brands with pivot bolts. That's something that works since a long time. We have front CVD, but the CVD head is out from the bearing, because this is one of the points I really like on this track. All the bearings from this track are 60.8.5 millimeters. That means the most standard bearing we have on the market. That's cool. You can have the top plate or in graphite or alloy. You can have the shock tower with graphite, and many options. You can have CVD for the rear, and you can have also not the CVD but the other stuffs, the other type from a transmission part. I have one really here, just a moment. So you can get 4 from that for the whole cars, front and rear, if you don't like the CVDs. And now to the point why I put the diffs out. The diffs oil are really loose. So I take the worst part from the car, that means the manual, and in the manual they tell you you get 7000 TST in the front, 5000 in the middle and 3000 in the rear. That's okay for the competition buggy or for a truggy, but not for a muggy. It's way too light. And what a surprise, because I was thinking really that all 3 differentials work same and really loose. So I open it and there's no oil in. There's just only grease, no oil. There's just also no grease and the output drive in the diff, so you have to put apart all differential, put grease here on the nuts, put it again in the differential and put oil in the differential. Then As I undo all this, I see that they tell the truth about the steel they use. They make CNC cutted steel for the front and rear diff, also for the main gear. It's a really hard steel, feel good, I love it. In the center you have oversized nuts. Look at this. You have 2 mm of steel here in the center, and all four, and that's cool. Not on the wheels, but on the wheels this will be enough. And as I open the diffs, I see something other. In the center the bearing has already rust. Not much, however we have rust. That means these bearings are not stainless steel, and they have also no brand. Here on the rubber you can see Thailand, no brand. And on another one the rubber compound is already dyed and falls apart, so you see the tiny little balls in the bearing. But we will let it all in place. I don't know even if the screws, the quality of the screws, I hope they don't will to rust so fast like they do on armor or on Traxxas. We're gonna drive it. I don't gonna drive it stock. I first wanna make a stock run, but with this grease in the diffs in 6S it's just not possible to drive it stock. We have also typical a good rear suspension, not too hard like many other brands, but we have a too soft front suspension. I like to drive my truck a little bit harder in front than in rear, because the weight is in the front and you land always on the front in the most of the time. So I'm gonna make here a little bit stiffer oil in the front shocks. We have 450 and we have 400. I will go to 600 in the front, 30k or 60k CST front differential, 150k CST center diff, and 20k for the rear differential, and then we only go to drive this truck. I love it's lightweight. I love that they do a gravel and shoot cover on the main gear, but just a half, but it's a beginning. Hope that we will soon see our brand made complete, so stuff for protect the main transmission. We have alloy where we need. You have flex plastic on the arms, but how I say, we will see on the field what happens. What I really not like is that one. That one is really bad. It's the same radio system than on the Moxu. It's a really cheap quality. And I know, see, because it was on the box, I forget in the Moxu to tell you something. You can change the not only the dual rate from the steering, you can change the endpoint adjustment from the steering and from the throttle. To do that, you have to pull full brake, put on the radio system, and then you are in programming mode from the EPA. For adjust it, you can turn left, and with the steering trim you can change the endpoint. So that means the truck has to be unpowered, so you will see where are your tires. Then you can make the right. That's okay for the steering. I fully understand that, it's super easy. But then come the jokes. It's the same thing on the throttle trigger. That means you have to hit full throttle and trim the power down. If you put the truck in the air, you will have 4 ballooning tires, but you will see how many power you put to the trigger. If you put the wheels apart, you don't will see anything. You could just feel about I'm driving 30 or 40%, it's okay for my kid. And if you don't power the truck on, you don't know nothing. Just don't know what happens. So the easiest way is to not put the power on the car, to go to the trigger endpoint, to put full throttle, to go down with the throttle trim the whole way, so you're on the minimum, so you can fire up the truck, and then you can begin to drive even with full power and not gonna move away fast. And then you can stop that, go in programming from the EPA, repower all, go to the programming, pull full throttle, the truck will drive very slow, and then you can drive faster to the speed you want. But that's, I think this is really dumb, personally. Why not just put another potentiometer for that? So I gotta prepare the car, then we're gonna drive it. I love it, like it's here. That with the grease is not the big stuff, but I think it's just a mistake from them to put it in the manual that you have oil in the differential, and then you go drive and you have only grease. And for all the other stuff, we only just can see it after the driving, if this suspension will be tough, if it's work fine, what's up with the tire. And we only see after 10, 20, 30, 40 packs what happens with durability on the truck. And you know me, I will show you all drive. If I drive the truck 20 times, you will see 20 videos from the whole full runtime. And I will tell you, you can drive 50 or 20 minutes with the truck, you will know I do it. Because that's why I create the channel, because I'm not like when you see a review from the truck, an unboxing, a driving from 3 or 5 minutes, and then we will tell you, you can drive in half an hour. What did you see? You see 3 or 5 minutes. You can hear the truck is durable. What did you see? Nothing. You can hear the truck is fast. Okay, maybe they will show you the fast thing from the truck, and that's all. I show you all what happened with the truck. If it's my mistake, I will tell you it's my fault. If it's a mistake from the conception, from the construction, from the plastics, I will also tell you, and you will see all I do with the truck. On this channel is no bullshit. Bye guys.